Hello and welcome to my first Facebook Live for Happy Hour Friday. I'm really excited to share with you a fun project that I created to hold some note cards. And I'm going to wait just a couple minutes as people come on. But this is the project we're going to be creating right here. Alrighty, let me make sure I've got this all set up in my computer so that I can see. Let's see. I'm just trying to get where I can see your comments, hopefully. Let me go back here. There we go. All right. Well, it's Friday, and Fridays are always a great day. Just the beginning of the weekend, and it's always a fun day to stamp. The stamp set I'm going to be using today is the Fine Art Suite of product. The stamp set is the Art Gallery right here. And then the Designer Series paper and all the other product you're going to be able to find in our mini catalog. So I'm going to open up our mini catalog here, and the suite starts on page 32. They have lots of samples right here for you. And then I'll scoot this over a little bit and share with you some of the other ones on this side. So we have the stamp set in the bundle. We have some specialty paper that's gold. It's really pretty. We have some gold leafing. We have the fine art ribbon that has really pretty gold specks in it. There's a fun folder, embossing folder, and some heat and stick powder to work with your gold leafing. And then we have this Designer Series paper, which is just beautiful. And that's what I'm going to be using on one of the projects today. Flip this over, so I missed a page there. And just get you a better view of the stamp set. It comes with a two-step stamp set for the flowers, and then it also has the additional step for this flower bundle here. It has lots of really great words, and then it has this die cut right here. So it's a great bundle of products. Super easy to do, to stamp with, and I hope you guys are going to like it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started now, and I'm going to show you the project first. Right here, I'm going to stick up my host code, so in case there's anything that you find that you need, you can use that host code through the end of the month. This is my little note card holder. It's made out of a 12 by 12 piece of Designer Series paper, and when you open it up, you have your note cards here. And I have 2 note cards and 2 envelopes on each side. So it holds a good amount. 4 cards is a great little gift if you want to give somebody something special, a great birthday gift, or to leave on a friend's desk at work, something like that. I'm going to tie this back up. I'm going to create this project with a different paper from the collection, but I'm going to go ahead and show you that collection of paper right now. This is the one that I'm going to be using to create our project. This is the back side of that paper. We have this really pretty rose paper, and then the back of that paper. This is the one I created that sample out of, and then this is the back of that paper. I love how they have the more basic backs, but then the front side of these are all big florals with lots of color. And then we change into some more of the blues. There we go, and the last one right there we go. Make sure you get all of these in the picture. I'm going to scooch these over just a little bit. And that is our last one there. So that's a big variety of paper that come in the pack. Now, one of the neat things on the back of your Designer Series paper is always the colors that are included. This one has a large number of colors. There's Bumblebee, Flirty Flamingo, Mary Merlot, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, So Saffron, Terracotta Tile, and then White. So that is a great variety of colors. So you may not have all the colors, but you might just have the perfect color to go with that. All right, let me share with you now the stamp set before we get going. So this is the Art Gallery stamp set. As I said, it comes with these flower images here, the leaf, a bouquet of flowers, and then a little accent one that can fill in for those, along with all of these words. This is the coordinating die set. Now we have this cute little banner that will coordinate and fit with the different sizes, just like that. We also have the leaf image. Actually, I should flip that over. So we have the leaf image. We have the large flower. We have that little bouquet there. And then we have this one here. Now the last die in there is this large one right here. And let me share with you a card that was created with that, just to show you. So it's going to die cut out, Just Want to Say, which is a neat die cut that coordinates with all of these little sentiments. I'll be sharing with you some more cards that were created with this bundle in a little bit once we get our project created. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull out my paper trimmer here, and then I'm also going to, let's see where my paper went. I set it down somewhere. Okay. Hold on just 1 second here. Oh, it fell on the floor. Okay. So the dimensions that I'm going to be cutting, or I'm going to be scoring, are 3 3/4 by 9 1/2. And I'm going to do that one first. And I am going to grab this paper here. So one side is a big floral, and then one side is more of the solid. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my paper trimmer. I'm going to bring it to the 2-inch line, press down the bar, and then I'm going to take the lighter gray one, which is my scoring blade, and then I'm going to move this all the way over to the 9 1/2, and I'm going to go ahead and score that one more time. Once I've done that, I'm going to open up my paper trimmer, and I'm going to turn my paper just one time, and I'm going to move it to the 2 inches. Now, and then go to 5 3/4, 6 1/4. Now these two score lines, the 5 3/4 and the 6 3/4, it's going to be that little gusset that lets you add the extra cards in there, so you have a little bit of thickness in there. There we go. All right, so we have that all scored there, and I'm going to move my paper trimmer out of the way. I'm just going to set those dimensions right up there. And now what we want to do is go ahead and fold this on all of those score lines just to give them a nice crisp fold. So I'm going to use my bone folder. I'm going to turn it this way. I'm just kind of rotating it around. And then I need to find those center two. And here's the other one right here. There we go. All right, the next thing we need to do is go to all 4 of our corners. Now this is the 2-inch piece, so it's 2 inches from the score line to the edge, and this is 2 inches from the score line to the edge. So I'm going to put my finger right here at the top where the score line is, and I'm just going to turn this flap down, and you're going to create this angle right here. And we're going to rotate and do that on each of the 4 corners. to start with, you don't really have to decide which color you want out, which color you want, so which color you want in here and which color you want there. The way this is designed, you can change it up. Once you have it all folded, you can just flip it over and fold it the other direction, and you will be able to get a different look if you would like. I'll get my last corner right there. All right, so there we go. Now if I turn and I fold back this piece like that, again, I'm just going to use that bone folder. Fold that down. And then I'm going to take the two ends and fold them in. So I take that back. Well, I think I made the wrong score line. So you know what? I think we're going to try again. That's a great way to start off my project, but that's okay because I have lots of paper and we'll just do it again. I think I kind of mixed up and put that 2-inch down as my first score line going the one direction, and I should not have done that. So let me go back here again. I'm going to do 2 inches, 5 3/4 inches, 6 1/4 inch, and then all the way to 10. So no matter how many times we do this, and I'll show you several different ones, there's always a chance that you might you know, just miss that score line, but that's okay. It is paper and we can just redo it a little bit here. Hopefully I've got it right this time for you. All right, let's get back here and fold on those score lines again. Get that straight. All right. There we go. And now we'll come back and score these 4 right here. And then we're going to score where those 2 come together, those 1/2 inch marks right there. All right. There we go. Now let's open that up. Okay. And now we have our 2-inch sides here again. So now what we want to do is we're going to fold these in. Like I said, we're going to put our finger right there at that point. Fold that down, and we're going to rotate and do all 4 of the sides just like that. Alrighty. And my last one. There we go. I'm going to fold the print in on both sides, just like that. I'm going to flip this over, and now I'm going to fold this back. And then I'm going to take this side here and fold it in. And again, I'm going to press down, just like that. And then just tuck this right in there. Let me get that a little bit, this edge is a little bit off there. All right, let's press this down good here. And then we can come and fold it on those 2 lines right there. So there we go. There is our holder, and our cards are going to slip right in there, just like that. Okay, let me show you the cards that I created in the first pack that I made, and then I'm going to make a couple different ones for this pack. I wanted to keep it really simple, and so I just did all 4 cards with just my flower, the stem, and then I did the envelopes. I did do the envelopes a little bit different. I did one, you know, like this, one with just a flower, a little stem, and a little bit up there. When you're doing your envelopes, if you happen to get a little smudge on them, you just add more of the stamping. So I think that's a great way to finish it off. All right, I'm gonna bring in a piece of scrap paper here. And I am going to, let's see, there we go. All right, I just lost my picture so I could see it. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to grab a couple note cards here. Actually, I'm going to start with the front, not the note cards. I'm going to be using our nested label dies. They're a great set. They all fit inside of each other, so they're easy to work with. And I went ahead and already die cut out that piece. So it's right here. I have a scrap piece of paper I'm going to be using. And I'm going to start off with using, I think I'm going to use the yellow on this one. So I'm going to use So Saffron as the base of my flower. And then I'm going to accent with a little bit of crushed curry. Let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to use Bumblebee. I think that'll be a little bit better. Let me grab that. All right. One of the nice things about this design here is that it has so many different colors in here. You can really have some fun with the flowers. Now there are 2 different flower images. This one here is more of a solid, more solid all the way around. And then this is the accent piece. So let's start off with the solid one first. I'm going to ink it with the So Saffron and stamp it off. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put it on just like that. Then I'm going to take the So Saffron and do it right on top, just like that. Now there's this little accent piece here. And I'm going to take Bumblebee and just kind of put it right there in the middle, so it just adds a little bit more. Set those up. And now I'm going to bring my old olive ink in, and I'm going to do the stem. Just like that. I went ahead and die cut out one of the little labels that come with it, and I'm going to stamp thank you on it because I thought this would be a great little thank you gift for a friend. I'm going to ink it up with our StazOn or any black or basic ink you can think of. There we go. Put that away. Now I could go ahead and put this on just like that, but I think it would be prettier if this was popped up a little bit. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. I have a scrap of paper here. I'm going to go ahead and repeat what I just did with the stamping. So I'm going to take the So Saffron and I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to go ahead with the accent piece and stamp full strength. There we go. Next I'm going to take that little detail one with the Bumblebee and put that right in the middle. And then I'm going to add the leaf, little branch there. Okay, let me put this aside just for a moment because I don't want to stick my hand into the ink. There we go. I'm going to set that in the corner also. And then I'm going to bring in our cute little mini die cut and emboss machine. Now this is newer. It's a great one when you're doing things at your desk and you don't need a big area covered to die cut. And so I am just going to put on, let's get this over this way a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and lay down the die cut for my flower. Just kind of line that up there. And then I'm going to do the one for my leaves. There we go. I'm going to put the top on it and then just run that through. All right. Let me go ahead and set this aside. Now, actually, if you haven't used one of our new die cut emboss machines, one of the things I love about this is that it closes up and it's easy to store. It's lightweight, but it's sturdy enough to hold on when it's laying down. And it has, this one has the base plate, number 1, and then the plexi plates are number 2. So all the information is right here, and it just tells you step by step what you need when you go ahead and die cut. I'm just going to slide this in to hold it and set that aside now. All right, now let's bring this back in, and I'm going to grab a few dimensionals. And I'm going to pop this up here. So that's kind of going off the page now. I think that's a lot better than the one that was staying right on. And then I think I am going to not do the whole leaf, but I'm just going to take the one that goes off the side. So this one I'm going to go ahead and leave it laying down flat, but I cut off the one edge from that little speck right there. And then grab another dimensional and put that on. Now it kind of gives a little 3D effect, and I think that's going to work really well. Let's bring back our vase, and I'm going to add some of this Fine Art ribbon, the one that has a little gold flecks in it. I'm going to wrap that around. And just tie a bow off the side. I think this ribbon works great because you really could stamp in any color, and it's gonna be the perfect color for whatever color flower you decide to do. Next, I'm going to take my little nested label here, add some dimensionals on the back. And I can put that on right there. Now I like having the flower on this side because it really leaves more room to see, or it leaves a space where you can see the different of the color. Where if I was to have this with that, I think it kind of blends in a little bit too much. All right, I'm going to just grab a little bit of the side of my dimensionals here. It would be really good just to use my mini dimensionals, but I don't happen to have them right handy. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the back and then go ahead and lay that down there. Now I tied ahead of time some bows with my linen thread. I think I'm just going to add one right on there like that. Something else that I think would be really pretty on here are some of our elegant faceted gems. And I have this scrap piece left here, and it has some of the white ones. It comes with the pink, a white, and a clear, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and just use these. Now there we go. So I just add a couple right there. Maybe I'll add another one down here. I had a class last night, and my Take Your Pick tool is still downstairs with all my pieces, so I'm just using my scissors there. So this is the front of it. I think that's really cute, but now let's add some cards to it. I started off and did just these two right here. This one here is done in the same colors, and then this one here I did with Blackberry Bliss and Rich Razzleberry. So let's bring my piece in here and let's do some more. I think I'm going to do one with Flirty Flamingo and Poppy Parade. Let me bring my cleaner in so I can just wipe off those stamps. That one can stay. Let me get this one here. Okay, that chamois is great. You just can moisten it and you're set to go. Now these are our note cards and envelopes. They come in a pack and they're already scored for you. So I like to go ahead and put the score. I like to, you know, fold it on the score line just so when I'm putting my flower down, I have a better idea and I think I can center it a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and do our leaf and stem first. Go ahead and put that down. And while I'm at it, I might as well bring my other one in and do it at the same time. I wanted to have 4 cards to go with this one. There we go. Now I can set that aside. All right. Let's get started now. Whoops. Wrong one. We're going to start with the Flirty Flamingo and the more solid image. Again, I'm going to stamp that off and then put that one down. And then I'm going to take the detailed one and do it full strength. And then I will take that little one that's just kind of a little bit of splatter in the middle there and add that one. All right, let me close those up. And I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of my bows. Now sometimes when you have like scraps of our linen thread, it's a great time to just tie some little bows or just take a string of it and just tie them, and then you have bows all ready to go when you want to have a little added something on your project. So I think this one I am going to do our happy birthday. Trying to give a variety of different sentiments. Make sure I do it right side up. We don't want it upside down. So there's another card. And then our last one here, I'm going to go ahead and do it in the, let's see, I'm doing my thinking of you. I'm going to stamp the sentiment. I can put that black ink away so I don't put my hands in it, of course. Alrighty. And then I think I'm going to bring in my Rich Razzleberry and Blackberry Bliss. Kind of a fun colors. I really like it. Let me just clean these off real quick on my chamois again. All right, this is my Rich Razzleberry. Stamp that off. Add that on. Just quick and simple stamping. Doesn't need a lot. You don't need too much. This stamp set I think is a great stamp set for beginners or advanced. You can just do so much with it. All right, let's grab some of that Blackberry Bliss, add that in the middle. Super simple, easy flower to stamp. It's not hard. You can get so many different looks. You just find some different combinations of ink that you like, and then you just go to town and have some fun. All right, so we have those 4. And then I'm just going to do one of the envelopes. I'm not going to do all of them. Let me bring back that Rich Razzleberry and Blackberry Bliss. I probably should have stamped the other ones, but I would have done that along with doing when I did the fronts of the cards. That way I wouldn't have to clean in between. But I'm going to go ahead and just add this one here, since it's already that color on my stamp pads. was stamped off. Now this one is going to be stamped full strength. And now we're going to add the little Blackberry Bliss right here in the middle. There we go. Now if you're feeling it needs a little bit more in the background or you just need something else, one of the things that you can do, I'm just going to grab it, is take one of your Stampin' Blend markers. You can also use our Stampin' Write markers, but you take the brush tip. Now the brush tip is the one with a thick line. The thin line is more of a bullet one. And you take the cap of your pen and you're just going to flick. What that's going to do is it's going to give you this little splatter look. So it takes it from being just a plain white envelope to just a little bit more. All right, let's grab our cards and our envelopes. Let's see. All right. Now I'm going to bring my set back in. And just slide these in here, just like that. Slide those in there, just like that, and then we close it up. Now when I tie my bows, just another tip, you're going to take your ribbon and you're going to cross it over. And whichever side has the tail hanging down, you want to make a loop. Then you're going to take the one at the top, you're going to wrap it over, and then tuck it in where that your finger is right there, and then pull it. And that should give you a really nice bow, just like that. All right, so I am going to pull this one, whoops, back over here. I just slid my ribbon out while I pulled it. Now you definitely could go ahead and put your ribbon, put some adhesive down where you put your ribbon in so that it doesn't slide out like that. So let me show you again. We're going to add our cards back in there. Put 2 on each side. Just like that. Just like that. And then let's tie this ribbon. All right, so there's 2 designs right there. The same stack of paper, but just a little bit different in the colors. Let me show you a couple others that I made. This one right here I made out of the Peony Gardens Designer Series paper. It features the gray granite and our basic gray, so I kind of did a combination here. The stamp set and dies that I used the Tasteful Touches stamp set, and then I used the Tasteful Label dies. These are some really fun dies, and it worked out perfect for this to have this nice image right here behind. Let me show you the cards that I designed for inside this one. Now all the product for this is in our annual catalog. Here's a couple of the cards here. I think I have my envelopes. Okay, so I just did the feather on the side and then the feathers there. This one here, I just kind of stamped a random design, and these are both in the gray granite color. I also added some of those elegant faceted gems and some of the linen thread. And then here's a couple more. So I carried through wrapping the linen thread around, and I used each of the different sayings in the stamp set and each of the different images in the stamp set. All right, so that's one more. And then one more I did when I was practicing trying to get down the fold for this. I just grabbed some of the Designer Series paper that I got from Celebration, the paper blooms, and I created this one here. So I did not make cards for this one yet. This was just practicing the fold, but isn't that pretty with those big flowers inside? I did use the nested label dies on the front, but because the left side right here was white, and when I stamped on the white, it just seemed like it blended in too much, I went ahead and added this soft Seaside Spray larger nested label to make it stand out a little bit. And the stamp set I used was the In Bloom, which coordinated perfectly with that. It's just a really, really fun stamp set. All right. Now, we started out with the Fine Art Floral, and I wanted to share with you some other cards that I have received in swaps I've made for classes over the past month or so. We always like more ideas for a stamp set once we get it. I thought this was really cute how they took the leaves and put them out to the side instead of having them coming straight down. So it just shows how you can take a stamp set and use it in a different way. They actually even brought in a little bit of navy, so they added one more layer to those flowers. This one here I created in a class I took, and it was just a fun fold, and it's using those nested labels right there again. Here's the one I showed you at the beginning, and one of the things you might notice is how this is raised up, and you might think, that's probably pretty hard to do. Well, if you look at the side, and it may not be able to show up in the camera, but I'm using some of our it's a, oh my gosh, do I have it right here? I don't have it with me. Okay, it's a solid piece of dimensional, and it's like foam sheets, and so you can actually adhere it to your paper and run it through the die cut machine, and now all of this is popped up like that. So you don't have to worry about cutting little pieces or adding fine glue. It's a double adhesive, so the side you stick to the paper has adhesive and the back side will have adhesive, so that's pretty cool. This is one that I got the idea just from our annual catalog. Simple. I did a little bit of stamping in the background with the same color ink as the paper. And then again, I used that fine art ribbon there, and I used one of the labels. This was from a class I took. It has some texture in the background, and you might notice they did a little bit of the spattering there. Again, that ribbon. So it's really pretty. Here's another one that uses the designer series paper in the background and a couple different dies. That one was from a swap. Here's another one from a swap. It has lots of layers. Lots of dimension in here with the flower and different emblems. And then back here it actually has the foil acetate paper right here. So that's a lot of fun cards that are being created with that stamp set. Now let me show you that foil paper. Since we're here, we might as well share some more product from that suite. It's kind of noisy getting it out. But isn't that gorgeous? There's 3 different sheets. This one is an overall design. This one here is another overall, but it's a larger floral pattern. Now you could take some cardstock, like if you had your, let me just take this piece right here, this rose piece. So if you were to put that behind your cardstock, it's going to give that really pretty image with the color behind it. All right, here's one more sheet. This one here has a border, and I believe it matches up with one of the papers, which is really cool. Let me get back to my pack over here and find that pack of paper. Let's see. So it's going to lay, and it's going to layer on top, and it matches just perfectly with all of those flowers. I think that's gorgeous how they did that. So there's lots of different things that you can do with the designer series paper and the products that are in that suite. Now our mini catalog is going to be here until June 30th. which is great. So we have a couple more months that we can order from our catalog, which is awesome. So it goes all the way to June 30th. But our annual catalog is going to be ending on May 3rd. So that's just a short while, like about 6 weeks away. Next week, Stampin' Up! Is going to preview the new catalog to demonstrators, which is one of the awesome things about being a demonstrator, is that we get to get a preview of things before they come out for everybody. What they're also going to be doing is having a retired list. So we're going to all know next week, after the 24th, what product is going away. Now, once things are retired, the product is on a limited basis. So if there's something you really want when you see that retired list, you want to make sure that you order it right away. One thing that's going, and it has been, some of the things are starting to sell out or be not orderable, are our in colors. These are our 2019-2021 in colors. There's Terracotta Tile, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, Rococo Rose, and Purple Posy. Now you'll find that we have ink pads, markers, ribbon, and even our designer series paper that features these colors, and they've been very, very popular. This is something that if you really like these colors, you might want to pick up some of the product to go along with it. There's also Stampin' Blends, so there's just so many things that it goes away, and once it's sold out for good. All right, let me bring back in those, the 3 different note card holders that I created. And I'm going to leave them on the screen here for just a moment. There we go. All right. Now in the comment section or at the above, I'm going to go ahead and put the dimensions in there for you to cut. I'll also have my host code. And if there's anything that you need to purchase, just go along and just tap on that host code and it's going to direct you right to my online store. There's lots of fun product in there, and I just want to thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate the time you spent with me, and I hope you try and make one of these projects. If you do, go ahead and share it with me because I'd love to see the designer series paper that you chose to create it with. And if you like the project, share it with a friend and let me know how they feel about it. Well, thank you so much. Again, I'm Create with Jeannie, Jeannie Cooker, and you can follow me here on my Facebook page, or you can go over to my Stamping with Jeannie group page. I've got lots more there. Thank you so much and have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.